Happy Monday. Happy start of a brand new week. Happy wealthy Monday. I'm going to wait for you all to jump in and join. I'm going to do Q&A part 2 today. Let's see. Let's get rid of that. And all right, here we go. All right, so we have Valentine's Day weekend. I'll share my flowers with you. Happy Valentine's Day. Hope you all had a wonderful self-love day, but also that you receive love from those that you love the most. And I hope that you all got my email spreading all of my love to all of you. All right, everyone, good morning. So I am going to be answering, one quick second, I'm going to be answering this morning some coaching questions that were submitted. You'll remember 2 weeks ago, I did part 1, today's part 2. And next week, we're going to be looking at me answering questions about me. I'm already uncomfortable. So start thinking about, like, if I were to sit with Tasha for coffee, what would I want to ask her about me, right? So not coaching, just I want us to get to know each other. I realize that for years and years, I really come and I share a lot of just about my personal journey and the things that I've learned to help you create your own wealth. But in the process, I find that in my coaching programs, I think I talk a lot about my stories, but not so much publicly. So I'm curious, what would you want to know, right? So get your questions ready, because you're going to literally type them here in this feed this morning. I'm going to go back afterwards and check and see what the questions were. So I'm going to jump right into the ones that I received, which were live Q&A, which were Q&A questions that were submitted. And I chose 7 questions. I'm going to just get to the point, direct in my answers. So question number 1, what is my purpose here on earth and how do I get there? What is my purpose? I really hope that the woman that asked this question is watching live, because I think that this is a powerful question that it's meant to inspire you, but I also notice that it keeps a lot of women stuck. What is my purpose? I don't know my purpose. I can't move forward if I haven't figured it out, and so I'm going to be very confrontational in my response. Trigger alert, warning, warning, warning. Get ready, because I'm just going to tell you like it is and tell you the truth. Number 1, the coaching. If that's truly what you feel, this is a question that has served me well, has served my clients well. You know my theory. When you have a question of God, universe, source, get a blank sheet of paper, write the question down on a blank sheet of paper, go to bed. Go to bed. The universe needs to fill space. You have to get an answer. You must, anything that's troubling you and you're trying to figure out, what should I do? How should I do it? This is tried, tested, guaranteed. I promise you with all of my being, if you are willing to write the question down on a blank sheet of paper, in your journal, leave the journal open, go to bed, within 24 to 48 hours, you will receive a download, an inspired answer. So the question to ask is, why am I here? Why am I here? Can you all type that just to make sure? If you're not real sure at this point, that's a really good question. Why am I here? How am I to serve? Why am I here? Can everybody type that? Why am I here? How am I to serve? And the answer is probably, for many of you, it's going to shock you, because it may be what you're doing and it may not be. And it may be what I'm going to guess, truth be told. And this person in particular, I know her. I recognize her name. She knows what she's supposed to do. She knows her purpose. And for many of you, I don't think it's that you don't know your purpose. You don't know why you're here. You don't know what you should be doing. I think it's actually that you do know, but you're not doing it. And so instead of acknowledging that you already know, you keep trying to ask the question over and over and over again, hoping there's going to be this answer that's different than the one you already know. And that's the answer is going to light a fire under you. And that's what you should be doing. I truly believe if I were to coach you for 2 minutes, I would show you how you already know. Actually, you don't even need my coaching. You know you already know, right? So that was my answer. But if you sincerely feel like, Tasha, truly I'm lost, I have no clue, then grab a blank sheet of paper and write, Why am I here? How am I meant to serve? Because maybe you get your purpose and making money confused, and you're like, I keep hearing that this is my purpose, but I can't see how I'm going to make money from that. And so it's not my purpose. And that's where a lot of people also go astray. You're trying to connect the thing that spirit has guided you to do. This is your work. This is how you're here to contribute, to change the world, to be fulfilled, to use your life experience to make somebody else's life better. And then your logical brain goes, but how am I going to make money from that? And so you go, that can't be my purpose, right? So I'm going to encourage you. Why am I here? How am I meant to serve? And when you get the answer, it is the answer, period. It might not make sense how you're going to make money from doing that, but if you will go in pursuit of that purpose, money will find you. Actually, money will chase you down. Okay. So that's question number 1. Question number 2. Good morning, Tasha. My question is, after I journal my end result, what do I do afterwards? Do I look at what I journal every day, or do I journal something different every day pertaining to the end result? And so my coaching response and what I do, Tasha, I've been journaling for years. I've been journaling for older than some of you have kids. So I have fine-tuned this over the years, and this is where I am at this moment. When I have decided there's something that I want to create, I write it out as if it's already done. I write it in gratitude. I date it. I write in gratitude as if it's already done. I keep it super short and simple. Back in the day, I used to write pages and pages and pages about things. Nope. I literally give myself a page. And today, I'm trying to do it in a few sentences. But I write it out as if it's already done. And when I am done, I read it out loud. What I've realized is writing creates a new neural pathway. It kind of signals to your subconscious mind, this is a thing that we're creating. It signals your reticular activating system. This is a thing that we want to see, we want to bring into our life. And when you speak it, it's kind of like, I think of it as when God created the heavens and the earth, and he said, let there be. The spoken word activates all of creation in your favor. And so for me, that's something that I've been doing maybe the last year or two, is I actually read out loud what I have written. After I've journaled, after I've written it, after I've spoken it, I visualize. I close my eyes. I teach my goddesses this. I close my eyes, and literally for 30 seconds, I just see myself in that scene where this thing that I desire has already happened. If I'm going to treat that intention, that desire again, I don't usually write about it multiple times. What I will do is I'll visualize it a few times, right? So I used to constantly be writing over and over and over the thing that I want a bazillion times every day, 5 times a day. Now, because I understand how this works, the moment you acknowledge a desire in writing, in speaking it, in seeing it as done, it is already created. So the true answer is, what should you do? It's according to your faith. When I used to write it over and over and over again, it was almost like I needed to do that so I could believe I was going to get it, right? But now that my faith has grown and I understand the laws and I understand how this works, that the second I write it, the second I acknowledge it, the second I close my eyes and see it, it is done. From that point forward, it is on its way to me. So the work is not to keep journaling, to keep saying it, to do any of that. The work is really to stay aligned to the intention that you have declared is yours. It's almost like it's on its way to you and you want to keep moving towards it. You don't want to go in a totally different lane. If it's coming to you in lane 2 and you switch to lane 5, then no amount of journaling is going to get you back over to lane 2. So what you want to do is you want to make sure you stay aligned, you keep staying in that lane, right? Where you know the intention that you have declared is on its way to you. And so it is. Okay. The next question, hopefully that helps. Actually, I wrote a little note and I want you all to hashtag this for me this morning. Hashtag believe it is done. Hashtag believe it is done. Can you all jump in the chat? Hashtag believe it is done. Journaling, intending, visualizing, affirming is really, and I use the word believe just because that's what you know, that's what we've been indoctrinated. It truly, honestly, if I really tell you the truth, you don't even need to believe because it is done. But it's just that state of consciousness that gets you to, this is done. It's that certainty, that confidence. It's really beyond belief. It's just, I don't have to ask you, do you believe your name is your name? Like, no, that's my name. I know it. You don't need to believe it. You don't need 10 steps to believe that's your name. It's the same thing. It's just a fact. The second you write it down, it is done. It's done. Hashtag believe it's done. It is done, right? So that's number 2. We're going to move on looking at the time. Number 3. This was a long question. I'm going to try to read as much of it as I possibly can. How can I change living in scarcity to living in my dream life of healing and helping others? Traveling the globe to speak and motivate women of all nations, of healing from the inside out with proper communication skills and earning millions, breaking all generational curses, and get out of a good government job. So this person has a good government job, right? And her dream is to get out of living in scarcity, travel the world, heal and speak and motivate women of all nations, make millions. Because obviously working a government job isn't the answer. There is a way to become a goddess. Is there a way to become a goddess and raise my income from $74,000 a year to 10 times as much in less than 12 months? And number 3, so I told you she had a lot of questions. I want to read them all, even though I'm not going to answer them all, but I want you to see her frame of mind. How can I go from a stressed out, living paycheck to paycheck worker to the best me God has created when I don't have any support? My husband does not understand anything except work 2 or 3 jobs, and will your life get any better? ? I am sure we can all relate to something in this question. I read this and I was like, sister, this was me. I am going to answer you from the Tasha that understands where you are right now and the Tasha that is where you want to be, right? So my response truly to this person is that living in scarcity is a choice. It's a choice. And you have to, I told you I'm going to be a little confrontational and triggering this morning. I don't care what job you have. I don't care how much, you get paid. I don't care what education you have. I don't care what you know or don't know. I'm telling you as a fact, for every grain of sand on the beach, every grain of sand on the beach, there is financial abundance available for every one of us. Go to the beach, go wherever you can get some sand, take some up in your hand and try to count. Try to count, see how far you get, right? Count to the millions, because as much grains of sand as they are on the beach, there is abundance available for all of us. If you are not experiencing abundance, you are choosing not to. It is a choice. That is why everything that I teach starts with mindset. You have to understand that if you're experiencing scarcity, you're literally looking for it. Because sure as I can look at my bank account and see a number that doesn't make me happy, I can also look at a tree and see I can't even count the leaves on the tree. I can go in my yard and look at the grass and see the blades of grass. I can go to the ocean and look at the water and see abundance. I can look up at the sky at night and see stars that I can't even count how many stars. There is abundance in all forms. We as humans choose to see scarcity with money, and then we experience it. So the answer to her question, how can I, is it all comes back down to you have to switch yourself from seeing scarcity to seeing abundance. And it doesn't have to begin with abundance in your bank account. Train your mind to look for, I'm going to go to work today and all I'm going to look for are symbols of abundance. Train your mind to start to see abundance in all forms. And what's going to happen, what must happen because it is law. If you train your mind to see abundance, abundance must begin to show up in every area of your life, including money, just because that's what you're looking for. This is science. Your reticular activating system is like my husband was saying, look, everywhere, red cars, right? So it's like, yeah, I said, there's your reticular activating system at work. If you train your brain to see abundance, that is all you will see. And it is your brain is literally going to go and do the work to create abundance showing up in all areas in your life, including money. So, I said to change this, look for abundance. And number two, a simple, like just do this all the time. And what's going to break my heart is I promise you, I'm going to tell you and this person this. And I'm willing to bet 9 times out of 10, they're not going to consistently do this. Even though this is the thing and it's so simple, it doesn't require working extra hours. It doesn't require starting a business, doesn't require anything. But I guarantee what breaks my heart is not going to get done consistently, even though it's the thing that will change the trajectory of this person's life. And it's this: I am wealthy. Constantly affirm, I am wealthy. I am wealthy. I am wealthy. I am wealthy. Like, say it till you're sick of hearing yourself say it, and say it again. One of my mentors decided he wanted to be a millionaire, and he was lazy. He did not want to work on Mondays, wanted to work a couple hours a week. He was 30 years old and broke. And he decided, okay, nothing in my life is proving that I can be wealthy. Nothing. There is nothing. I'm 30 years old. There's nothing proving, but I'm going to try this. And so he affirmed, he said, like thousands of times, in an easy and relaxed, happy way, I'm now a multimillionaire for the greatest good of all. He said it was just a simple statement. He said it over and over repeatedly, thousands of times. And those of you that know him, because I teach from his book and I talk about him a lot, Mark Allen, multimillionaire. He's published Eckhart Tolle, so many of the great authors of our time. He went on to create and he's like, I'm lazy. I don't want to work on Mondays. But this affirmation changed his brain to make the reality he wanted, right? So can we all go into that? I am wealthy. I am wealthy. Affirmation. Everybody type it. I am wealthy. And then say it a bazillion times, over and over and over and over and over. Like, let your brain be reading a book and seeing the words, I am wealthy, because you've said it so many times, right? All right. So the other one is Marvis Stewart messaged and said, hey, should I join the sisterhood? I'm seriously considering joining the Wealth Sisterhood today. Since I've been following you for several years, is this a good program to start with? And so I have a program called the Wealth Sisterhood, and it's absolutely, the reason I created it is that in the past, I've always had mid and high ticket programs and never had a place where people could just start. Just start with the wealthy habits every single day. Do a little something like the affirmations that I'm giving you. All of these little tiny habits are the things that move the needle. The problem is our brain thinks, I want to be a millionaire, I have to go move a mountain. Actually, I want to be a millionaire, I have to do one little thing consistently every day. That's it. Right? So the Wealth Sisterhood is a great place to start, because that's what we build, are those little daily habits. And so congrats, Marvis. I did see that you joined and that you've been posting in there. Okay. Number 5. Number 5. What should I focus on first? My health, I have health concerns, or wealth? I find myself going back and forth. My answer is our health is our greatest wealth. Period. If you're having to choose between health and wealth, go with health, because you can have a bazillion dollars and not be healthy, and you will be poor, right? Science of Getting Rich that we teach from says it's no greater to be wealthy in one area, like in the physical, if you're not wealthy in your mind, your body, and your soul. The combination of being wealthy in all of those areas. And what is wealth really? It's the ability to do, to create, to have anything that you desire. And if your health prevents you from enjoying the things that you want to create, you're not really wealthy. So I would say focus on your health first. That is your number one wealth. And also, so much of wealth creation is money is made in your mind. Money is made in your mind. Wealth is made in your mind. If your mind is distracted because you're not feeling good, because you're not healthy, then you are diluting your power to create wealth. So for me, I would say focus on health first. Okay. Number 6. Ooh, I'm doing really good today. I've always had a problem with visualization. I close my eyes and nothing happens. If I lie down, I wind up falling asleep, never visualizing. So a lot of exercises like that don't work for me. I know that if I could get this piece down, my manifesting would be faster. And so I'm going to actually tell you a little cheat sheet. As much as I tout visualizing, as much as I literally created a whole method, the visual alignment method. I love visualizing. I think it's a superpower and it does aid your manifesting. But if you close your eyes and you literally cannot see something, instead of making yourself wrong, I want to encourage you to do the thing that works for you. So for me, before I ever got to being able to visualize, I could write. Like I tell you, I'll write pages and pages about what I want. That's a form of creating it, right? So writing it out is just as powerful as if you never wrote it and all you did was visualize. As long as you engage one of the senses, you can see it, smell it, touch it, feel it, right? Hear it. As long as you can engage one of the senses, you are activating all of the universe to come to bring you what you want. And so one of the things that I tell clients sometimes is, people will say, Tasha, when I close my eyes, I just don't see anything. And I always say, great. It's like saying, I want to manifest a mansion, but I can't visualize because I don't know, like, where's it going to be? Is it somewhere tropical? Is it in the snow? Is it on a ranch? Does it have 5 bedrooms? Does it have 7? Does the doorknobs have gold doorknobs? Is there a pool? And that's like, by the time you figure all that out, you can't visualize, right? And so I always say, don't worry about it. Here is what you need to ask yourself if visualizing is hard for you. When I have it, how am I going to feel? Every human knows when you have the thing that you want, how is it going to make you feel? And the number one answer I get is, I'm going to be so grateful. I'm going to be so happy. Do you know what it feels like to be grateful? Yeah, I've been grateful before. I know how that feels. Do you know how it feels to be happy? Yeah, I know how it feels to be happy. Great. Write in your journal what you want. Read it out, read it back to yourself, close your eyes, and just feel happy. You don't even have to imagine that you're seeing yourself with it. Just literally close your eyes. You just read it. You just read it. You just read it out loud. You just read it again in your mind, whatever, and just be like, I have that. And just close your eyes and feel the gratitude. Feel happy. It still works. Okay? Every single person knows how they want to feel. Last question. Hello, Tasha. I'm carrying a lot of guilt from childhood emotional abuse, which has affected my capacity to feel deserving of wealth with ease. How can I become deserving? That is a loaded question. How can I become deserving? How can I practice connecting with my intuition and receiving downloads from God? I do sometimes feel like there's a very high energy, literally high, providing me with answers. Is this what guidance feels like? So I'm going to start with that part of the question first. Yes. Yes. I can tell you, I have never asked for guidance and not received it. Never. In fact, the more I ask, the faster I get it. So we second guess. Like, I remember I used to be like, God, is that you? Or is that me? Right? And so what has happened is the more I ask, it's kind of like, I remember asking a woman one time that I really admire, how do you know when it's God? She says, it's like if my son Sebastian walked into a room and said, with thousands of people, and said, Mom, I would immediately know that's Sebastian, that's my son talking to me. It's the same thing. You get to this point on the journey where the more you ask, the more you're like, okay, I hear, and you take action, is the more you receive, and the more you fine tune knowing that is the voice of God, that's the voice of the universe, that's the voice of source, that's the voice of my higher self. The more you know, the guidance, right? So, and the fact that you're like, it literally feels high energy, it's a yes. That's your answer. Go with it. The other part is, how do I become deserving? I have programs to teach about becoming deserving. If you know anything about me, I stand on deservingness. We cannot get wealthy if we do not believe we deserve it, first of all. So I would say, outside of joining one of my programs, go get my book, Deservingness, on Amazon. It's like my real life story of how I learned about deservingness and all of the things that I did to get to this point. So I would say, like, outside of coming into a program, a really quick help for you is to read the book, Deservingness. I also know this person because I've seen her post on my page before about her story. And I can tell that there's a lot of money traumas. And so I think even before you read the book, Deservingness, you want to really go back and look at the 17 money traumas. And you want to really work on, how am I going to heal these traumas? Because unhealed traumas, cognitively, they create almost like a barrier to you even beginning to believe that you deserve it, and everything else that comes after that, like changing your mindset to becoming deserving. I happen to know this person was in a position to receive a large sum of money, and I can tell she's really struggling with it because the money traumas, the deservingness, all of the things. So even with the money, if those things are unhealed, you can't even enjoy it, And so I really want to encourage you, the next time I open up the Wealth Ascension Collective, please join it. Please join it. The level at which we do the work around deservingness, around money traumas, mindset, it's the answer to so many of these questions. Like, we can't even begin to create the wealth we want if we don't do these foundational things first. Right? So watch out for that. And so someone just said, where can I find the 17 money traumas? Ooh, thank you. Great segue. Everybody, guess what's coming? The 3-day Wealth with Ease activation. I'm taking it from 5 days down to 3. Oh my gosh, I'm going to Jamaica tomorrow, which is my download place. I cannot wait. So all I'm going to say is mark the date. March 17th to the 19th is the next 3-day Wealth with Ease activation. And truly, that is what it's going to be, is an activation. All right, everybody jump on in. Type that for me so I know that you heard me and you're going to be there. March 17th, give me 3 days. Those 3 days, I am going to take you from wherever you are to understanding why you're there. First of all, why am I here? Why am I on the hamster wheel? Why am I working so hard? Why am I addicted to it? Why is it, I'm not nowhere closer to my 7 figures than I was 2 years ago, 3 years ago, but I'm working harder. So we're going to do that. I'm going to help you understand why, and then I'm going to show you how to get there, how to let all of that go. March 17, Sonia, March 17 is going to be the next Wealth with Ease. One last thing, please type your questions for me. Next week, next Monday, I'm going to be answering, what do you want to know about me? I'm curious. What do you want to know about me? So we had coffee and you're like, Tasha, oh, girlfriend, I've been longing to ask you this question. Jump in the chat, type the questions, whether you're watching Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you are. Email me if you need to, support@tashachen.com. And then next week, I'm going to choose some of those and answer. I'm excited. I'm a little nervous, but I'm really excited because the idea is I want you to get to know as much as you need to know about me. And then last but not least, I've been sending out some amazing emails, like literally coaching emails. I've been writing them. I've been putting the coaching nuggets in there. I've been giving you backup videos to go watch if that's something that you're dealing with. You know, this week I wrote about your identity and switching into a wealth identity. I talked about if you're self-sourcing, like are you constantly you trying to be in control and figuring out how to block that, how to change it. There's been so much. I can't even. There's been so much. Please make sure you're reading the emails. Tasha@tashachen.com is where they're coming from. I send them out 3 times at least a week. I'm going to start doing some journaling prompts and sharing more of my journaling because that was a big hit. I sent an email to just tell you if you're stuck, here's what to do. And I literally inside the email gave you a picture of my journal. So make sure you're reading the emails. Sonia says, yes, they've been awesome. All right. How did you meet the love of your life? Ooh, questions are coming in already. I can't wait. I love you all. Have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you next Monday. Bye, everyone. Take care.